Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Trading Room for Thursday, October 23rd. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not considered individual financial advice. Trade your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our only session today. We'll do away with Michael Russell is in a trade that's gone too far. Crude actually got it done this morning. Very active. Long trade at 901. Definitely got money management. And hit target one right on the nose. So that's a one and done. Unleaded didn't do quite as well. 9 o'clock. That's too early. That's an add-on if you take it. Just missed money management. But I'm going to assume we just took a loss on this one. 55 ticks. So down 110. And we get target one here on the short and a partial. Target one traders pick up 53. So you were down 110, you're down 107. Market is open. Soybeans is flat. YM is flat. Michael Russell with a short. Gotta go down 3. So I guess it's gonna be 24.70 flat. So not quite to money management yet. And looking at unleaded, we had 87.49. Wow, okay, a little pop down, so now we are at money management on the Michael Russell. Pound Aussie is in a short. That was a stop and reverse. We got in sync with this long. $5.16 for the entry. The stop and reverse would have been 5.02. That's a major key level, but it's already a 2-tick adjustment. And we have to go 3 more ticks for the major key level, which is just too much for this size trade. So I'll leave it at 5.02 and not like it, but that's what it was. So 14 tick times 5 positions, set down 70 ticks, or 70 pips rather. So it's 749 to 706. 43 and 53 is 96. We're down 110, so we're down 14 on target 1. 43.86, down 24 on target 2. We'll pick up a short that goes to target 1. Partial, and yeah, this is target 2 only. 654 to 646, 8, 16, down 8 ticks. And we get this long that went exactly break even, looks like. No, it went one tick, it looks like, 91 to 92. And now well, then we go short. We were down 6 ticks. That's going to stop and reverse at 21. So our loss was 679 to 721, 42.84. So down 90. Oops, I'm still going. All right. All right. Money management will be at 22. So let's see what we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the last trade. What did the YM do? Okay, we get a long, stops and reverses to short, stops and reverses back to long, stops and reverses back to short. Getting chopped up in the YM this morning. So we're in the short, 4th trade. Soybeans hasn't gone anywhere. And we get a break-even stop out. 87.17. Now actually 87.22. So 2 ticks, we're down 88. Losing session on unleaded. So we'll look at micro NQ. Starts at 4 minutes after market open. And that is a valid get in sync trade. So we are long. on the micro NQ and hit money management. All right, money management on the micro Russell. Actually, no, we do. Okay, target 3 win and a break even stop. Then we go break even and we are in a long. So win to break even so far. Target 2 win on micro NQ. Need to go up 2 ticks. 77 flat. And we did touch that, so we want to be sure we don't stop out, and we didn't. There's our stop, looking for target 3. Also looking for target 3 on micro NQ. All right, YM got a, looks like YM got a target 1 on trade number 4. And we were looking for target 2, so because that was going to be less than 20 ticks. So that's just a break even. Trade 5 is long. Choppy price action on the YM this morning. Target 1 is plenty big on this one, 32 ticks. Soybeans with the short trade set up. It's like not a very big trade. Not big enough to adjust around. That trade is so small. Looks like it may be a minimum. Yeah, six ticks to target 1. And if we adjust 2, target 2 becomes our first actionable target. Since this is first trade, I'm going to, and the moving average would currently is pushed through, so I'll leave it alone. Target 3 win on micro Russell. And there's target 4, win number 2. Target 3 on micro NQ, that's win number 1. Targets 2 and 3 in hand, trailing now. Oh, 59 3/4 for the stop. Micro Russell stop has moved up to 76.9. Soybeans did trigger in. And trade number 6 on the YM is a stop and reverse exit at 8:09. So a choppy session on the YM this morning. Micro NQ stops out. So that trade is flat. Our pound Aussie trade has hit target 2. 2 positions come off. 17 pips times 2, 34. So we're down, still down 36 with our stop and reverse adjustment. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we didn't stop out there because we hadn't hit money management yet. 501 is going to be our break-even stop. Down 36 with 3 positions remaining. And our next goal is going to be target 3. Micro Russell trailer still moving up. 78.7. Soybeans is short. Micro NQ is flat. Pound Aussie is short. And the Micro Russell is long. Crude, YM, and unleaded are done. Target 1 on unleaded was positive. Target 2 ended up 88 ticks negative. $79.9 now for Micro Russell, moving up. All 3 market indices moving strongly up. Micro Russell and the YM both setting session highs. Target 3 on the pound Aussie, 24 ticks. So we're down 12. There's 2 positions still in play. Micro Russell stops out. Second win in hand. 3 trades in. We can take 2 more wins or 2 more losses. 2 more wins, 2 more losses, or 3 trades, whichever comes first. And Aussie trailer moving down. Trailer now at 496. Six pips. And that's at least exactly break even now. This stop move down will get us to a point where the trailer will get us positive. On the pound Aussie, and it will definitely move down. Looks like to about 490, 493. Oh, 494. No, that won't move it. So 496. It'll say 496. Balance line currently is at 491.7. So that would put the trailer at 2 ticks above 492. 491.7. So 493.7. That's going to round off on the fifth digit to 494. That key levels to 496. No movement on this unless we go down a little bit more. All right, got almost to target 4. Not keeping an eye on Michael Russell up here. We've got a larger trade that's trailing. Yeah, target 2 is going to be our first actionable target. Target 1 is going to obviously be our money management level. And there it is. And trailing on up toward target, getting toward target 2. Trailing at 82.2. Soybeans is still short. Pound Aussie is still short. Michael Russell is flat. Target 4 is 471. Down to 472.2. If it gets inside of 1 pip, I would definitely trade for profit. Michael Russell stopped out, went short, took a full loss, and now has another long. So that was a partial win. I would call that essentially a break even. And that's another loss. So that's a second loss to end the session. That was trade number 6. Would have needed a 2-tick move up. 85 and 85.5. That ends the session. Looking for a 10 a.m. crude mini session. Mark up this last trade because that's at this point it's still available to get in sync for 10 o'clock. No change on the pound Aussie. Soybeans stopped and reversed at the full stop out. Full stop would have been just 1-tick adjustment for the stop and reverse, and that's where it was, what it should have been. So we get 6 ticks to target 1, which we just hit. Okay, down 12 points. We got 1.5 and came back for a 3 ticks on the trailer. So we get 2 1/4 points on that trade. We're still down 9 3/4. Short trade on micro NQ. Definitely should be in this trade. See if we get a reversion to the mean or if it continues up. Volume and the micro Russell are kind of mixed signals there. "15 seconds to the 10 a.m. crude mini session. Pound Aussie hits target 4 with 31 ticks. That puts us positive 19 with 1 position remaining. We are in the 10 o'clock crude session, so that's a get in sync long. And we take a full stop on the micro NQ to set up a long trade. It has not yet triggered. Still valid until there's a crossover, so we go short now. We have a short setup, long cancels. Short triggers in. Trade number 3, a win and a loss so far. Another move down to the stop on Pound Aussie. 491 from 502. And that's 11 pips. So 19 realized, 11 pips so far on the trailer if we stop out there. So definitely going to be positive. This is a power quitting trade. Looks like we're about to get a white trade short on soybeans. $38 3/4 will be 37.5 if we close the bar. So hey, we'll be right back at 10:37 for an entry again. Pound Aussie short, micro NQ short, soybeans flat, crude flat. Everything else is done. Looks like the next move down on the Pound Aussie is going to be to 487. making 15 pips on the trailer. Second loss on the micro NQ and a long setup. And that just touched the entry. So far, I think that's an avoidable. See if it comes back up and hits it again. Yep. In the trade. So the micro NQ is long. Ouch. And we did stop out for third loss. Well, that knocks us out of the micro NQ completely. That ends the session with the third loss. Pound Aussie and crude. Pound Aussie crude and soybeans actually still remaining. Soybeans and crude still flat. Pound Aussie is short. Okay, we got target 3. So we got 35 and a half and 50 and a half. One wasn't big enough to move it. We got 85 and 3/4. Plus we got 59 and 3/4. Four and 3/4 less. $45 and a half on the. That's the fine. That's 2 positions, so that's 91. Yeah, 85 and 3/4. 175. 175 and 3/4. And we lose 186. So we lost 10 and a quarter points. Very, very small loss today. 10 points is $20. So $20.50 is the total loss on that. Very nearly break even. All right, my pound Aussie is moved down again. 487 as I expected. 19 ticks on targets. And we've got 15 in hand so far unrealized on the trailer. So we're going to be at least positive 34. Pips this morning. Still no change on the crude or soybeans. Okay, I'm expecting that is our entry again. And our stop is going to be 42 flat. This will be a decent sized trade. Down 9 3/4 points. Soybeans definitely a different animal than the micro NQ. Soybeans is $50 a tick. I'm sorry, $50 a point, $12.50 a tick. Versus the micro NQ that's $2 a point, 50 cents a tick. Crude is in the long. Come back and trigger into the get in sync. Looks like we've got a cross on the histogram. The histogram is blue. We've got a cyan line crossing below the yellow on the histogram. So that definitely meeting all the criteria for a white trade. Entry will be above the 50, so it wouldn't have, it's not pinching down toward the 200 anyway. Crude is long. Soybeans is flat. A potential long set or short setup coming up. And we have a stop and reverse on crude. 43 is the plotted entry, so 41 would be our stop and reverse. Actually, 39 would be, that would key level to 39. Don't like it, but that's what it is. This one looks like it's large enough, though, to support that. $26 for the money management. Pound Aussie with a little bit of consolidation. Stop move down to 483 on the close of this bar. And I say that. $473.2, 481.2. Actually, no, if we get it up close, it's not going to move. Close 3 ticks above the balance line. No change in soybeans. Soybeans did finally come down, set that, make that setup, and it also triggered in. Stop didn't move. Now we have an entry, a long entry at 83, 483. That would have been where the stop would have moved to, so I would say use that as an exit. $483 from 502, 19 there. Net is 38 pips on the day. Down close, we moved down to 481 on pound Aussie. Yeah, stop move down to 81. I would hold it at the moment at 83. Keep it above the swing high for the pound Aussie. Crude is still short, halfway between entry and stop. Soybeans is still short. So short, and short. Pound Aussie, crude, soybeans, all short. Pound Aussie setting a new session low, it looks like. All right, now it's time to move it down. 477, 477. 25 pips on the trailer. No change in the pound Aussie stop. Crude still hanging around between entry and stop. Soybeans a few ticks up above the entry now. Okay, crude trying to come down. Pound Aussie consolidating still. It set a new session low, but it's not much lower than it already was. Coming down to test that low again. All right, Pound Aussie pushing down not soybeans, crude back to its entry. Aussie trying to move again. No change on the crude or soybeans, both still short. No change. No changes yet. Soybeans and crude still the same. Crude's back halfway between. Soybeans is halfway between. Moved down on the stop to 776, 476 on pound Aussie. Right, same. No changes. This is the tough part of it. It's keeping focused when the market is like this. Still same. Looks like looks like pound Aussie is about to move stop down again. 68.7, 69, 71, 471. Either way, we close. Crude coming through the moving averages again. They're all three right pinched in together. All right, there's our move down to 71. That is target 4 for 31 pips. So now we're at 50 pips net on that trade. Crude coming down almost to the entry again. Soybeans just hanging around midway. Yeah, crude making a push down. No change in soybeans. Pound Aussie continuing down. I'm not going to move anything so far on Pound Aussie. All right, there's another nice move. Oh no, it hasn't moved yet. Still 71. $67 will be the next move, looks like. Unless we go even, we could go even get 66. We got 67. So 4 more ticks. 35 and 19. 54 ticks. 54 pips, rather. And crude came up back up to its entry, trying to pull down again. Crude's just basically going back and forth around the moving averages. Soybeans kind of going sideways with some excursions. Crude definitely going sideways. Pound Aussie pausing now. No change. Crude checking the testing the moving averages again. One tick move down, 466 on the pound Aussie. Next move, 462. All right, nice move down on pound Aussie. 458. Forty-four ticks. Potential stop and reverse on crude. 53. Crude stop and reverse is still valid, still in the short. $44 ticks on the pound Aussie trailer, adding to the 19 ticks already in hand, already realized, pips rather. No change. Uh-huh. There's an add-on short. If that triggers, that won't change the. Now, actually, this stop and reverse has already canceled. So we'll come back to our original short. All right, we've been in here an hour and a half, and we've got one chart. Pound Aussie is in its power of quitting trades, and once this trade finishes, it's done anyway. Crude and soybeans are just kind of going sideways, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a morning, and we will see everybody Tuesday. Regular sessions next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, coming very close to the time change. A week from Sunday. Crude comes down and gets money management. And get target. This will end up being a one and done on the 10 o'clock session. And didn't wrap it up yet. So that works. They're closed, and we are already trailing 41. We're trying to, let's see if we'll go ahead and do this. In 24 for target 1. And looks like we're going to stay at 41 for the stop. And there is target. Target at 24 will be a one and done. Next goal at 14. But that is going to be a one and done for the 10 a.m. session, so I will go ahead and call it a morning at this point. We'll see everybody next week. See you Tuesday. Have a good weekend.